So for this beer, we had to do a lot of research into what volume of oysters we'd be using, how much of it is the meat or just the shell, and there is a huge amount of wild information out there of what people did. Oysters were, or the shells were a byproduct, and oysters were easily accessible for people, as far as I understand. We're very fortunate though that you guys brought us down a huge volume of whole oysters. So we've, for lunch, been opening those up and tasting boiled oysters in wort, which for me was absolutely amazing. Where are the oysters from? What's the story behind them?
So Malden oysters, they're our traditional house oyster. So at Faber, we're all about being a sustainable seafood restaurant, and oysters play a big part in that. So when someone's farming, growing rock oysters, they're actually a carbon catcher. They're actually great for the environment. So a carbon catcher is hard to make a carbon footprint if you're delivering right. And number two as well, these guys filter, each one of these will filter 20 litres of water a day. So they actually clean the environment they're in. So if you're consuming something that's actually positively impacts the environment instead of negatively, so a great thing to be using. Full of protein, so really good for you. Back in the day, before Victorian times, these were the poor man's source of protein, so they couldn't afford meat. They then became overfished, the native oysters became overfished, so they became very much an affluent person's treat, if you like.
Yeah. But
now we're back to loads of farming, it's becoming more accessible again. We do these at £2 a pop every afternoon. We want everyone to try them. And we thought, you know what, the traditional recipe when you and I were researching was to use a fresh oyster. So went up, picked the oysters up ourselves, we've got that on our socials and everything. And actually went and met Chris, great guy, and he took me out to the oyster beds, and we actually went and got these oysters, chucked them in filters and delivered them to you. So we know, we have seen these oysters in the estuary, and here they are today.
amazing, amazing.
So you know what we've got to do now though?
Right, I need to learn more about your world. How do we shuck it?
Yep, so we've brewed, your turn to shuck. So Matt here is the master shucker. We've been, he's going to show you how to shuck an oyster, and you're going to give it a crack, mate.
Okay, so we'll go straight in. Keep this cloth to save your hand. We're looking for this little hinge. So you've got a sharp knife, sharp side of the knife and the blunt side. We're going to go in with the sharp side here to cut the muscle here. This angle on the palm of your hand, just straight in. A little wiggle. Should be able to sit. And then just a little pop. And you're in. Oh, get rid of that. And now I just need to cut the meat off the top. Just a little clean up, get rid of any of these bits of shells. And we're going to check if it's still alive. So a little prod on the gills, and you'll see that it's moving back in. So that's definitely still alive, super fresh and super wet. That shows it's really nice. And now, just a little turn. And then we can eat it. Easy as that. You're right.
Hey.
Show you one more?
Go on.
Okay. Clean the knife.
Sharp side away.
In the hinge.
Yeah.
Delete that. In the hinge. Leave it around. Like you're turning your car key.
Oh,
That's the pot. This one's really dry. Don't show that one.
first is best then.
Yeah. Okay. In the hinge just like so, until it stays there.
Yeah.
Little twist. And now sharp side of the knife, just to run up the top of the shell. And you're away. So that's what you're looking for. Just a little tidy up. Check there's no shell in the bottom of the oyster. Have a little sip of the first release. Little turn here. And a down patch. Stunning. Right. 2 chews and you're done.
Amazing.
Cool.
Hey.
How many more are you doing a day?
Hundreds.
Yeah,
but yeah, depends how happy the happy hour is.
So
let's get some more in for you.
Get the oyster restaurant.
So this one,
Some of
this
those.
will be enough.
Yeah.
It's not really about how hard we're pushing it. We just want the angle to be there.
Get that release from the muscle.
That's it. So pushing it down to that point,
Yeah.
and now you want the thick side of the knife to do the work. So you're going to push in that top bit down.
You good, yeah?
The muscle's always going to be here.
Yeah.
Little lift up. Use this thumb to increase this gap. And then you just want to cut this top muscle.
Yeah.
So the least amount of meat on there is better.
Yeah.
But there might always be a bit of shell here. You just don't want to puncture that. If you push too hard at the start, you puncture this, and the second release comes straight back. And then to turn it, lift the gills off on this top bit. Really, that's a rain from
Cool. Thank you.
Just keep pressure on the
Right.
top. And just
Sharp side away from me.
little wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Whoa. Went all the way through. And that's
So give your knife a little wipe way out.
using my thumb. Let's cut
Perfect.
around there a little bit more. Looking for that. Not too bad.
Yeah, nice.
On the wastage. And I'm just gonna it's done, right?
Yeah. As long as it's open it, yeah, and down the hatch. Good to go.
Hey! The first shot.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you guys. That's amazing.
Yeah, nice.
You've just done this one, haven't you? I'm gonna do this one as well.
That's right. Yeah, go.
Oh.
Nice. So also our Shuck It Stout with Shuck It oysters on May the 30th.
5:30 PM, UnBarred tap rooms.